Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about Yosemite. So, we took the most magnificent trip to Yosemite National Park about a year ago. And now that it's getting to the time for the cables to go up for Half Dome and people are planning their trips and going out and about, I wanted to just give you my experience, my thoughts. There's so much information out there, I know, and you're probably on information overload, which is totally fine. I'm just going to add to it. I also have a couple blog posts. I'll link to those in the description so you can go read them. But I wanted to give some information because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about, in particular, the hike to Half Dome. I personally did not do the cables. I am terrified of heights. And I have tried and tried and tried and tried to overcome it. Like I hiked, I've gone high, I've done so many different things. And man, I just freeze up. Like it's literally paralyzing. Um, so I did not do the cables, but I was with someone who did and who is an experienced hiker. And so I'm going to relay his experience for the Half Dome portion to you. But I did hike all the way up to the beginning of the subdome, which is where you need to have a permit starting, I think it's May 22nd or sometime in May. And then it goes through September-ish that you need to have a permit to get on Half Dome. And that is the period of time that they have the cables up and you climb the cable as you go to the top. And you say, woohoo, I did Half Dome. So I got as far as you could go to get we had to show the permit. We did the John Muir Trail. So there's the Mist Trail, there's the Mist Trail via the John Muir Trail. At the time, they had the Mist Trail partially closed. So we had to take a detour, and it added like a mile on each way, which was unexpected, but it was totally fine. Absolutely beautiful. We saw the Verna Falls and the Nevada Falls. I actually spent like an hour just hanging out at Nevada Fall, which was absolutely beautiful. It was a wonderful, wonderful day in August. Timing also at Yosemite is important. The weather can be kind of weird. I will say that by the end of the summer, the waterfalls are falling, but they're not like these massive waterfalls that you might see earlier in the spring or even in May, June period. And it also depends on how much snow we got during the year and that sort of thing. So it was still absolutely gorgeous. And I have some videos. I will actually link to those as well. And we also were very lucky that it was a sunny day. It was, I don't know, high 70s, maybe low 80s. It was just a really lovely, beautiful day. So it's hard, you guys. It's hard. I am an experienced hiker. The person I was with is an experienced hiker, and he did better than I did because I'm smaller and he's stronger. But I did it, and it is hard. It is time consuming. If you are hearing people say they did this hike and they did Half Dome and they went in and out in like less than 4 hours, I don't know. Maybe they're like super sprinters. I'm not sure. Um, that's really, really, really hard to do. So I went to Nevada Falls, hung out up there, came back down, and it was about six and a half hours, 6 to 7 hours. The person I was with that did Half Dome, it took almost 10. So some of that was because we stopped and we took pictures and had a little snack, and so there was that. um, Definitely recommend starting early. You want to get out before dark. You do not want to be going through there after dark, especially if you don't have the equipment. So your phone flashlight, not enough. Like if you think you're going to be up there after dark, bring flashlights, bring a headlamp, and be ready. Bring an extra phone charger. Put your phone in airplane mode while you're out there because it will save your battery. So there's no cell service out there for many, many parts, right? So turn it off. Put it in airplane mode because that will conserve your battery, and you're going to need battery, especially if you're taking pictures and taking video, right? It's gonna use your battery. So I'm just gonna throw in some tips here along the way. So hopefully you'll keep watching. Um, the cables themselves are a challenge because it's it's pretty straight up, right? It's not like going to be a gradual climb. So you're going to need some arm strength as well as leg strength. It's not a ladder. You're not climbing a ladder. You're literally pulling yourself up on cables. The subdome, which is the section before half dome. So you're going to go up this trail. You're going to get to the subdome, which is kind of like this up and down, a little bit more technical trail. And then you'll get to half dome, which is where the cables are. You'll climb up. You go up there. Woohoo! I did it. It's pretty quiet up there. The person I was with basically said that it was like being on the moon, that there was like nothing up there, but the views were absolutely amazing. And yes, you can say you climbed Half Dome. I really want to do the subdome. So I actually got a permit for, again, later in the summer. And so I'll let you guys know how I do. Definitely don't think I'm going to be climbing the cables, but you never know, right? Like I could feel really, really brave. But I want to do the subdome because it's one, challenging, and it's two, it just looks beautiful. Like the pictures, the videos, everything you see, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I will tell you that the air up there smells so good. Like it smells so good and so clean and so fresh that you almost don't want to leave. Like it's intoxicating. It just feels so good. Once you get like up to Nevada Falls and then through Little Yosemite. Little Yosemite Valley is sandy, so it's kind of almost like walking on a beach. So just be prepared for that. That was not something that I was expecting, which made it a little rough because it's like walking on the beach. Definitely need hiking shoes, definitely need water. There is one water stop, but it's pretty early on. So you want to make sure you have enough water with you. You want to make sure you have snacks with you. You want to have sunscreen. I had mosquito bracelets. I don't know if I needed them, but I did use them. Oh gosh, what else? Hat. I wore a hat. I did take it off after a little while. And again, you want to get out before dark. Parking at Yosemite for the trail is limited. So you definitely want to plan ahead for that. And of course, the earlier you leave, the more likely it is you're going to get a parking spot. If you read my blog post, I talk more about this, but we didn't plan very well. And it was one of these things that was kind of a spur of the moment deal that we applied for the daily permit, we got it, we got on a plane, we went out there. So we didn't plan very well. We got on the trail too late. The person I was with got off the trail too late. Thankfully, he was with people that were equipped with lighting gear because he was not. So it was a very, very dangerous situation for him. And we learned our lesson the hard way, actually. I did make it out before dark, so that was good. But as as it gets towards the end of the day, like the trail empties out, right? Because most people are already off the trail. So just be conscientious of timing, how far you've gone, how far you need to come back, and make sure you get out before dark. Oh gosh, what else? So camping, they have a lot of areas to camp. They also have lodging on site, which is really great. We again got out too late. We had to nap in the car before we took off. We were so exhausted. You can go to Curry Village, which I believe shuts down. When we were there, it shut down around 10 o'clock, but they have food and they have a little market, little bar, even bathrooms, anything that you kind of need. It's all right there. It's a really, really great place. And then in the mornings, they have breakfast, and it's like a big buffet. So like coffee and breakfast, and that all was like, it's really, really cool. Very convenient. And then the lodging, we didn't stay at a hotel there, but you definitely can. So I would say if you don't want to stay in the park, Oakhurst is a really close town, and Mariposa was pretty close. So just depending on which side of the park you come in. So Oakhurst is on like this end, and then Mariposa was on this end. And just be prepared, right? Like, so it's not really an in and out kind of situation. Like you want to be able to stay there if you're going to do that whole hike, or have somebody that is going to drive you. Somebody in your group that can be very awake. So gosh, you know what? I'm just going to skim through here just to see. Oh, of course, there's fees to get into the park. This year, you don't need reservations to get into the park. Some years you do. So just make sure that you look ahead of time to see if you need a reservation to get into the park. There are bears in the park, so be careful with your food. Just have enough that you can protect your food. There is a seasonal lottery for Yosemite, which closes on March 15th, I believe. And then there's daily lotteries that you can enter. If you are over 62, I think it is, you can get the America the Beautiful Pass, which will get you into the park for free. What else do I want to talk about? I think I've covered everything. If you have any questions, oh, here's one other little thing that you can do. So if you do the mist trail and it's spraying, like a lot of people say bring a poncho. I actually brought a poncho. We didn't need it because the mist trail was closed, so we had to go around. But definitely want to do that because you don't want to have wet clothes, especially if it's still cooler out. There are some wet spots on the trail, so you definitely want to be careful with that. Trekking poles. I'm going to bring trekking poles the next time. There's quite a few switchbacks. It's pretty rocky in parts, and I have a bad knee, so I did wear my knee compression sleeve, which was super helpful, but you probably want to have trekking poles when you go. Backpack, sunscreen, we covered all that already. And yeah, I think that's about it. Again, I'll link to my blog post, which has some helpful links in there. And then my other videos that I have, if you want to watch them, where I go over like everything that I brought with me and just some other essentials. And if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to share some more. We've been to Zion, California. I have all kinds of good, yummy details about California. And so check them out and like, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. And if you go, let me know what you thought.